Hello, it's Karen here, Kazina, and I'm going to do part 3 of my comic collection. I did go up in my attic yesterday evening, even though I said I wasn't going to. I kind of couldn't help myself, and I had a rummage through 2 of my 6 boxes of comics, and I've just brought down a few of them that I thought you might like to see. So, without any further ado, I always say that, don't I, without any further ado. Anyway, I'm going to show you there's a stack of comics. I'm just going to show you some that I bought down. The very first one is called The Justice League of America, and it's a number 71. I'm just going to move the table a bit nearer. I hope you can see them okay. I did try to do this video holding them up and it came out really badly. So anyway, there's the old Justice League of America, and as I said in my previous video, I always liked group superheroes, and I particularly did, they weren't my favourite, but I was very fond of the Justice League of America because they kind of had the big hitters, didn't they, of superheroes. You've got your Superman and Batman and the Flash, and there's Green Lantern, and there's a little atom flying around, tiny Mr. Atom. So that's one of them. The next one is Spider-Man 13, and this is when he first broke out into his black costume, and this is a collector's item issue. However, it's not the definitive collector's issue, and I know this can be picked up pretty cheaply and pretty easily, but it's still nice to have the copy. I've got a number 497 of Batman in the Detective Comics, and there's poor old Barbara Gordon Batgirl, and they're all looking very sorrowfully at her because she's behind bars for murder. Then I've got, I'll just move these over here, then I've got a set of 4, and oh, there's number 4, and it's actually called North Star. Now, North Star was allegedly one of the first openly gay superheroes, and he got a little mini series, a little run of 4. He wasn't the most exciting of superheroes anyway. He was a right miserable git, to be quite honest. If you look at the front of all the covers, moody face in every one. But anyway, Mr. North Star he used to belong to Alpha Flight Squad, and he decided it was all too much for him, and he petulantly left to find himself, and he found himself in this mini-series, which wasn't that great, but I suppose it was interesting that they actually had a openly gay superhero. They should have really called it the Fist of North Star, shouldn't they? Sorry, that's a really bad joke, sorry. Anyway, the next one is called Action Comics, and this one features the Atom. I always liked the Atom. He didn't get much love, did he, really? But I quite like the Atom. I used to have his origin in a comic somewhere. I might still have it, but I couldn't tell you what one it's in. I wouldn't mind finding that. But anyway, that's Action Comics. Then I've got this nice little run here of Steed and Mrs. Peel, and this was a run of 3 comics, and there's old Tara King there, but anyway, it's called Steed and Mrs. Peel, and this was actually bought out in the UK years ago, but I think around 1991 thereabouts. It's bought out in the UK as opposed to America, and I just happened to pick it up when it came out, so because I've never actually seen this anywhere. I've never seen it on eBay or anywhere, and I wonder if anyone actually owns this run of Steed and Mrs. Peel. I don't think it was a very big run, so I'd be interested to know. But it's a nice little comic, and I'm really delighted to have it, being such a fan of the Avengers that I am. I've also got a it's a reprint, but it is dated 1991 of the very first appearance of the X-Men in their own comic. And this is actually, I mean, it's dated 1963. Funny enough, that's the year I was born. I mean, I'm never going to own the original first comic of the X-Men, so it's quite nice to have a reprint. And what I like about this is the pages inside are all nice and shiny and glossy. I quite like that, so quite pleased to have that. Even though it's only 1991, I don't care, it's still an origin one. Then I've also got another origin one, and it says on the front here, representing the now classic very first appearance of Spider-Man, and this is dated 1981, and so it has it's a reprint obviously, but it's the very first appearance of Spider-Man, and it also has a bonus. It's got the origin of Doctor Strange inside, so quite pleased to have that. I've also got quite a faded and old number 57 Justice League America, and it's got a very We Are the World kind of cover. We are the world. It's something about, if you can see there, it says UN, we believe, and the Flash is holding something that says, man, thy name is brother. So it looks like they were having a real kind of we are the world moment, but it's an interesting little cover. I've also got a last copy of a Superman run, as it says there, historic last issue, and it also features my favourite group of superheroes inside, which were the Legion of Superheroes, and they started out in Adventure Comics, I think number 247, something like that. Oh, I'd love to own that, but it set me back. It set me back this house. But anyway, they started out, but they always teamed up with Superman or Superboy. They eventually broke out on their own, and I've quite a lot of love for the Legion of the Superheroes, and I will do, I think, a video specifically on them and bore you to tears. But anyway, that was the last one of Superman and the Legion of Superheroes there. I've also got one called Strange Sports, number 4. Strange little comic this was. It always featured different stories which were quite peculiar, but to do with sports. Bit of a curio of a comic. I've got a few of these, and there's one that features ice hockey, tennis played with grenades. Quite bizarre, but interesting. I've also got number 2 of the Son of Satan. I was showing you in my other video, they revamped this as Hellstrom, and this was actually the precursor to Hellstrom, and so there you go, that's the Son of Satan, Damien Hellstrom. I've got a number 32 of Luke Cage, Power Man. I used to love him. As I said, I think he was really cool, and particularly when he teamed up with Iron Fist, very good. I've also got a few comics here. I think there's about 7 or 8 of them, and this was bought out by a company called Zone Productions. I don't really know anything about them, but they bought out these comics. There's quite a few more, but I've only got these, called Psycho Killers, which were basically graphic novels about serial killers, and it was quite sensationalistically, is that a word? But it was done in that way, quite graphic. It does say on some of these, not on this one. Oh yeah, it does say it's for mature readers, and yeah, it told the story of a serial killer, and it was done, as I said, in quite a graphic way, and it was a sort of comic that when you were reading you thought, God, I shouldn't really be reading this, but I'm enjoying it, if you know what I mean. So this one in particular was about all unauthorised biographies of real cannibals. Charming, that, eh? Ted Bundy, which everyone knows about him. Albert DeSalvo, I think he was the Boston Strangler, wasn't he? This one's called MAI Special. Andre Chikatilo. Albert Fish, oh yeah, the one that stuck strange needles, well, not strange needles, he struck needles into strange parts of his body, which I'm not going to say where. And this one here is about John Wayne Gacy, and this is actually a picture he painted. I think he painted this while he was in prison, and there he is, because John Wayne Gacy happened to murder 30 plus young boys, was also a part-time children's entertainer as a clown. And I don't know about you, but if I'd been a kid and he turned up at a party, I would have run for the hills. I mean, he looks absolutely terrifying. So John Wayne Gacy. And the last one is about real vampires, because they do exist. I've also got one, talking about vampires, funny enough, the next one, that was just by luck, is called The Tomb of Dracula, number 25. I've also got one here, The Sensational Spider-Man, and this is an interesting one because it says here, you probably can't see it with my camera, but it says here, this is it, the controversial anti-drug abuse 3-part epic, complete and unabridged. So there he is, squaring up to Green Goblin, and there's something to do with a drug thing going down. So I haven't read this for a long time, so I must read that to find out what they're going on about. I don't know, was Spider-Man on crack? Another Spider-Man one is an interesting little cover, quite plain but interesting, and again I don't actually remember this guy, but he teamed up with this guy called The Shroud, so I must have a little look through that. I've also got this series, which actually Lawn Boys Post 1975, he showed these, and I was really impressed with you, Lawn Boy. When I saw them, I was like, wow, he's got them, so have I. And it was a run of Wolverine. It was only a mini series of 4, but the artwork, as you can see, is absolutely yummy, and I don't know if yummy's the right word, but I'm a girl, I say things like that. But it was really lovely artwork, and it's a very sought after mini-series, and I bought these years ago, and I'm really pleased to have them, because I don't think they go that cheap these days. So that's one of my little happy special collections I've got. So I've also got a Unexpected comic, which, as I said,